And then he goes to his finance guy and says, you know what? I know it was a big investment, but as Superman, I have to have different shoes. And the finance guy says, are you whacked? No way, that's not going to happen. And it happens again. So besides the fact that there's technology that he loves and technology that was really, really expensive, he's ready to get rid of that. And he's ready to replace that technology. And you need to replace the technology that you're using. And you have to do it in a very, very smart way. So let's look at smart replacement. How can you replace the technology that used to work well for you and come to a new world, right? The very smart replacement is what the brain does. If you remember in school, there's the reptilian brain, right? That's the first level of brain that gives you all the information about breathing and stuff like that, right? Breathing, heart rate, all those kinds of things. In your case, with your company, that's probably payment, vacation things, who's your employees and stuff like that, right? And then we got smarter, and on top of that reptilian brain, we built the limbic system. And the limbic system is emotions. So on top of the core back office stuff, you might have built, I don't know, storage systems or a website or something like that, right? You put it on top of it. And then on top of that, when we got even more smart, we now have the frontal cortex, which makes us human. So that's maybe a mobile website and stuff like that. So you always build the old technology, the new technology on top of the old technology. But the problem is that the workflow with that is sequential. So one comes after the next, right? See, all of a sudden something happens, like you see a snake, and you don't know what to do. And now the sequence goes like this. First it goes to the visual cortex. Oh, it's a snake, Oh, a snake, it might be a dangerous animal. Oh, we have to start breathing harder. Oh my God, no, I'm breathing harder. It's a little bit confusing. And it's all jammed up, and then the emotions go panicky, and then all of a sudden there's alarm and you freeze. So that's why you walk in the desert and there's a snake, and then you don't know what to do. So all of a sudden somebody orders something but changes the color and wants it immediately, and to a geolocation they go, but the people are on vacation. I can't do it because you work in sequence. That's not a good way. It's good if everything is smooth and works perfectly, but all of a sudden, if there's a little bit of change, that doesn't work anymore. That's why there's a smarter replacement today. And the smarter replacement is you take the brain and you build a brain around the brain. A much bigger brain, a super brain, a Superman, super brain, right? And the workflow, if you have this really smart super brain around that brain, is simultaneous. So that basically means you see the snake or somebody all of a sudden orders something, then everything happens simultaneously, and all the divisions can talk to the big brain simultaneously. And this big brain is called the cloud. All systems ready are done in the cloud. And cloud computing is what that bigger brain basically is. The cloud is very fast, and the cloud is ultra flexible. No matter what happens, the cloud will change and adapt to the world that we see. And it's everywhere. So no matter where you are, you always have access to the cloud. And stuff that is everywhere, we also call the atmosphere. The atmosphere is stuff that we can breathe everywhere unless we're in water. But on the planet, you can breathe the atmosphere everywhere. And the atmosphere was made. Earth's original atmosphere was rich in methane, ammonia, water vapor, and the noble gas neon. But it lacked free oxygen. And then early life made that oxygen. Early life breathed the oxygen. And early life basically gave all power to new life because of oxygen. Because of oxygen, new life exploded and we all developed. And because of oxygen, all old life died. All old life died because it rusted. There's nothing that is not alive anymore that could not breathe oxygen on top of the surface. There's some below the ocean and stuff like that. But all these life forms used to live with us, and they're now all dead. And now we are creating a new atmosphere, and it's created by humans. And our new atmosphere is also created. And that basically, the new atmosphere that we created is data. And data gives power to new life. All of a sudden, you have a lot more new life. And data kills all old life. Data killed all the old life things that existed before. They're all dead now. Borders couldn't breathe data. They're dead. Amazon rocks, right? Blockbuster couldn't breathe data. They're dead. Netflix rocks. Because of breathable oxygen, life exploded. It's called the Cambrian explosion. You only had to use a couple of life forms, and then boom, millions of life forms. Because all the new life breathes stuff from the atmosphere in and breathes stuff from the atmosphere out. And because of that, life exploded, right? And now, because of breathable data, business is exploding. And all of a sudden, all your devices are breathing information in, like when your flight happens, what other people bought, what you might like, and you're breathing stuff out, like your geolocation, what you might like, what other people should buy. And all of a sudden, the truth is that if your business can breathe data, it will flourish, and if your business cannot breathe data, unfortunately, it will die. Which is really sad, but it's happening right now, you know. Because of breathable data, success is exploding. Look at all the new companies. It's all database stuff, you know, and they're growing fast, and there's a huge variety. It's like a Cambrian explosion with businesses based on data. And because of breathable data, knowledge is exploding. Because if you look at the knowledge doubling curve, which is the time it took for knowledge to double, up until the year 1900, it took 100 years for knowledge to double. In the year 1925, it already only took 25 years. And today, it takes 13 months. Every 13 months, we know twice as much as before. Every 13 months, we used to guess where parking is. Maybe in this street, I don't know. Maybe in that street, I don't know. And just drove around and guessed where parking is. If you live in Moscow now, there's sensors on every street, and you know where parking is. I know that you in Munich have Car2Go and Drive Now. You know where the car is. You don't wander the streets. Maybe there's one here. No, I have to go somewhere else. You know, that's totally ridiculous. You know where it is. Those things are happening, and it's happening fast.